Wakanda forever!
I'm Renee Noor, model, creative director, founder of Global Women Wealth Warriors, Wellness Hub, and GW3 magazine. I dedicated my life and devoted my career into helping women and girls to achieving their goals. I've been passionate about empowering women and enriching men. This opportunity in working with the Global Women Wealth Warriors have afforded me the pleasure of traveling outside of the country to be a support unit, most importantly, to help impact and change lives. Our ultimate purpose is to help others to become whole from finance, spiritual, mental, as well as physical. We know there are challenges and obstacles to get you to the next level. However, it's time for you to level up, boss up, and welcome to Power to Soar.
Hello, how are you? You lose Renee?
And yeah, we lost
Interesting
Renee.
enough,
There
guys.
you go.
I don't understand why I'm upside down. Okay, never seen this before. So you probably can help me, Deborah. What has happened?
I don't know, but maybe you can go into your settings to change the angle of the camera.
Yeah, this honestly, the camera haven't moved. So I have no idea. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to slide off and come back in. Okay.
Okay. Sometimes that happens. So I don't know if you can hear.
I
While
can
we're
hear you.
waiting, I thought it was interesting
Yeah.
in the room. They're discussing food and the impact of food on possibilities of increasing risks for cancer or decreasing risks for cancer. They're talking about substituting sugars and things like that. So
most definitely. Yeah.
I was curious what your thought was while we're waiting for Renee.
Oh, most definitely no sugar. We are not supposed to have sugar when we're dealing with cancer. Even after cancer, you should not even eat sugar. But it's a lot to that sugar. But yeah, it feeds cancer. Yes, it does.
So let's do this because we're getting ready to go. We're already live, guys. Believe it or not. Deborah, can you see? Get yourself centered into. There we go. Yeah. Because what we're going to do, we're going to keep it live like this. And I'm so excited. So what we're going to do, we're going to let everyone know that we're officially live. And I just want to welcome everyone to the GW3 Lunch and Soar. Not only am I grateful to be here, I think we're going to be going through Deborah's speaker because in that way we're going to have any more feedback, and I'll turn mine down. Is that right, Deborah? And
yes, we can do that.
In the clubhouse, if you can hear me, go ahead and flash your mics, please. Flash your mics if you can hear me in the clubhouse. If you can hear us in the clubhouse right now, please flash your mic. If not, I'm going to unmute myself so they can hear us.
Can you hear us in a clubhouse, Dennis?
No.
Okay.
Can't hear it, Deborah.
They can't hear.
Okay, they can't hear me. So how is it?
I can hear in clubhouse.
Oh, you can hear me in the clubhouse? Okay. Those who can hear me.
Really? Sorry, I can't hear. Okay.
Okay, there we go. Wonderful, beautiful, guys. So we are officially live now, guys. We are live with um, GW3 Lunch and Soar. And not only we're grateful to be live, guys, so sorry about that. We had a little bit of difficulty signing on, but you know what? We're not going to allow that to slow us down. Today we have a special segment, guys. It's all about pink hearts. It's all about what we're doing for breast cancer survivors as well as thrivers. And if you haven't already shared the space out right there in the clubhouse or on YouTube or right there.
We can't hear Karen. I don't hear anything.
You guys can't hear me?
Yeah, the volume is very, very low.
Oh, let me get my speaker up then.
Okay, wait, hold on. How about this? I'm going to go hit on. Can you guys hear me now in the clubhouse?
Yeah. I can hear you, Renee.
Awesome. Very good. So I just, Deborah, you could turn yours down. I'll just keep mine open so we can keep this rocking and rolling, guys. I'm super excited. First and foremost, thank you guys so very much for joining us for this week's segment for the GW3 Lunch and Soar. If anyone else have a hot mic, just go ahead on and mute your microphones so then that way we only have one sound that's coming right here from mine. And guys, we're grateful to be here today. Today is a special day. Not only is it a special day, Deborah, can you turn your volume down, please? Thank you. Not only is it a special day, we have a special guest that we're going to be interviewing. She is one of our amazing GW3 warriors, and she's adorable. Oh my goodness. She is so beautiful. Guys, please put some pink hearts in the chat right there on YouTube, as well as in the clubhouse for our very own Miss Cheryl L. Brown. Come on, guys. Let's give it to her. Hi, Miss Cheryl. How are you doing?
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing? Good to see you, Renee.
I know, no, it's great
And
to
Deborah.
see you. Oh my goodness, you are just stunning, beautiful. And then we have our very own Miss Deborah Vick that's joining us as well, one of our GW3 warriors. And you know what? You both are like our wildflowers. We always talk about the wildflowers that the GW3 bring to the table. And if you are a wildflower, go ahead on and put some pink hearts in the chat as well, because I'm talking to some of our spectacular wildflowers who have amazing stories. Now, Cheryl, not only are we grateful that Miss Cassandra Webb introduced us, but one of the most important things about your story, Beauty, you have been right there thriving with the Global Women Wealth Warriors. You've been tuning in with us, and you have been patiently, I say that patiently, just like getting engulfed. But you know what I love? Your voice.
Oh, really?
Yes, your voice, beautiful, your voice. You know, not only are you an author, you also are the founder of Live to Tell, which is a 501c3 breast cancer organization. However, you've also extended the wings, so therefore it can be an organization that can support those with cancer right across the board. And I think that's very powerful and very ingenious as well, because we know for sure so many of us are just dealing with cancer, as we were talking about that today. But I'm very proud of you. You are a woman with courageousness. You've taken this to a whole nother level. We like to welcome you to GW3 Lunch and Soar, guys. Again, let's give her some great pink hearts in the chat. How are you doing today, Beauty?
I'm great. I'm great. It started out kind of rough. I was kind of unbalanced, but then listening to the earlier 8 o'clock thing, it just took me into an eye opener. So what a blessing.
Miss Yolanda with our prayer warrior, Yolanda Christensen, is doing an amazing job. And yes, every morning waking up at
The
8.
ladies just themselves, the ones who get up to speak. I mean,
Yes.
It's just awesome.
Absolutely. So Cheryl, everyone has been like sitting on their edge of their seats. We've been talking about the whole cancer survivors, breast cancer survivors. Share with us. Tell us about your story.
Well, it's a big one. I was 24 years old in 1985, and I beat cancer. I beat it by making sure that I told my story. Let's put it like that. So in 1985, I found cancer in my left breast. I was in the shower and I was showering, and I saw all this suds in my breast when I was wiping, but instead of it being white, it was pink. Come to find out, I had a cancer all throughout my breast. It was coming out of my nipple, and it's a rare disease that was in cancer for breast cancer. I wind up going to have a total mastectomy. They got all the cancer out. I didn't have to go to any chemo or radiation at the time at the age of 24. But the tricky part about this age of 24, I was young, and I'm 61 today. And back then, you didn't hear about cancer. You didn't know about cancer. You didn't even know what cancer was. It was a very scary word. Everybody was transitioning from cancer, so, or dying. You didn't even know they were dying of cancer, but the word itself was frightful. I like I said, in 1995, I beat cancer at the age of 24, but it brought about low self-esteem. It reopened a door of low self-esteem. It opened the door to where I wasn't comfortable with my scars because I went one breast up, one breast, no, none at all. So it's like at 24, gleaming and being at 24, 36 brick house that I was and still is, um, it took my mindset in a whole different way. I was looking at myself differently. I was feeling differently. I actually didn't know who I was at the age of 24. So the self-esteem level was shooting back down. And if I go back into my younger years, I walked around with this big, pretty smile that you see, hiding behind an insecure little girl. But doing all that battle that I went at 24, it was something that taught me to move and push forward and not to give up. So what happened to me is that I pushed it inside, kept it all a secret, and dealing with each day at a time. But then 7 years later, cancer knocked at my door again. 1992, 31 years old, faced with cancer for the second time. Went to get a mammogram. They found something in my breast. Same area, same location, but I ain't got no tissues there. But when I had the reconstruction done, I had saline implants and put in, and I was going back to get mammograms and checks and everything done. So above I'm pointing to my area, up here in your breast area, up underneath your armpit, your lip nose area, that's still part of your breast area, and cancer does travel. So it was found right here in my armpit area. When they found it, it had went into first of all, let me take you back to 24. They claimed they had got all my lymph nodes out, but apparently a couple of them was left in, and it attached itself to it, and it resurfaced, and the cancer grew. And so in 92, they removed that lump that was there, but I had to go through radiation chemo at that time. And at this time, I was, let's say, moving into who I was. And I was married for the second time because I had just divorced during my younger age of 24. So moving into 1992, I was married, and in an unstable marriage, let's put it like that, unstable marriage. And the support team was unbalanced. I'm use that word today since it had me in an unbalanced mode. It was a little unbalanced. So stress came in. A lot of things came in. So it pushed me to finding God. And in finding God, because at the time I was at a church that was, I don't know, it was a holiness or whatever, but it non-denominational, maybe, let's say, but they was real strict about what you did as an individual, and it kind of judged you as to what you are or are not supposed to do. But it was a good church, don't get me wrong. It taught me who I am today, gave me my Bible standings and respect for myself spiritually. And so with that, it moved me out of different directions in my life and made me start reading the word, getting caught up in the word and understanding. So I started applying the word to my situation. I was going through cancer, but I didn't listen to everything the doctor said. When the doctor said I was going to lose hair, I was going to lose weight, I was going to be sick all the time, I was like casting it all down. I spoke the word over the situation because I felt that God didn't take me through this for no reason. Okay. So I built my faith up. And of course, I didn't lose my hair. My hair grew. I didn't lose any weight. Matter of fact, I kind of got a little thicker. And everything was going positive for me. So I beat cancer in 1992. Went on through life, got divorced, moved on, mother of three, actually four, with a bonus child from that second marriage. Bonus of five, really, because I've been married twice. So I have two bonus children and three of my own. Divorced, moved on. 1999, 7 years later. And those of us who are spiritually in tune to God, we know that the number 3 represents something, 7 represents something, 8 represents, have a representation, and 9 has a representation. So in 1999, when it came back for the third time, God had really embedded himself in me, built my encouragement up, gave me confidence, showed me who I was allowing me to be free, just to live and enjoy the fact that I was single again, whatever. And the Holy Spirit just dealt with me when it came back because I was mad, I was angry, I was upset. Here it is, it keeps coming back every 7 years. 3 times every 7 years, I had to face cancer, and I was mad at God. I was like, okay, why are you taking me through this? Why are you keep attacking me for the third time in the same breast area, same location, all within my left area? What are you saying to me? I was angry. I started writing, I started journaling, I started writing poems, I started going out to poetry clubs, reciting poetry. I was just trying to get away from God. And during the whole time of trying to move out of the realm of God, God was steadily putting people in my pathway. And in the process in 1999, when the cancer came back, I had to go through chemo, radiation. I had to get surgery. And even back in when my son was born in 1994, I'm taking you back a little bit, I had my saline implant ruptured. So I had to get another surgery where they cut my stomach open to move the muscle tissues to rebuild my breast. That rejected. And in the point of that rejecting, it caused me to have to go right back into surgery after just while on the table, having that surgery. So just coming out of surgery, then having to go back to surgery. So they wound up taking the back muscle from my left shoulder all the way down to my waist area to rebuild my breast. Thank God I have not had any complications far as the surgeries are concerned, but I do walk with metal stitchings across my stomach area, that triggers every now and then as you go through the airport. That's the only bad thing about that. But I'm here, I'm blessed. And in 1999, when it all happened, it was, like I said, I was angry, very, very angry. So God had to show me who I was. And through that, that's how Live to Tell was formed. Instead of me staying shut down, he kept putting people, but the people he put in my life were cancer survivors, not cancer survivors, but cancer people who were going through cancer. So while I was dealing and going through treatments and radiation and all that, I was actually ministering to other individuals like myself until I finally told one young lady, which is a team member of Live to Tell, Shay Carter. She was going through, and I finally told her, and Live to Tell kicked off, and she said, you got to start telling your story. And as you said, my voice is it. But the miraculous thing that happened to me was that 7 years later, it tried to come back. In 2007, cancer knocked at my door again. And see, I beat it in 85. I beat it in 92. I beat it in 99. 27, I beat it then because when I went on that knife, that scalpel to get cut, they couldn't find it. Even though they found it in x-rays and all that, it was nowhere to be found. But I knew there was a mighty person up ahead, God. And God took care of that. He blessed me. He really, truly did.
You are an incredible blessing, Cheryl Brown. Courageous. And just to hear your journey, it gives us chills. But at the same token, we are so proud of your steps. We're proud that you kept with that resistance. I mean, think about it, at the age of 24, and here you are today with this beautiful face. I know you had that beautiful face in 24, each one of your milestones as you kept encountering that moment of trying to pull you back. But you said, oh no, I'm not going to allow you to slow me down. Not today. You better get behind me. And that's what you did. Not only did you step in your greatness, you propelled. And look at you today. You said you were 61. I'm like, no, you're not. You need to stop. Oh my God.
I
You're
told you
so
I'm
radiant.
22. I'm
Okay, the
22 with
22 I
makeup.
can believe.
Yeah, you're like 61 minus 10 or 12. Okay. You look incredible. Everyone, please, let's put
Thank
some
you.
major hearts in the chat for our very own Cheryl Brown. Your story is such an inspiration. And as you were sharing it, I was going through, like, my stomach was just crunching. I was just like, man, look at her. You've taken this journey and now you have your book. You are a walking testimony. And you know what you're doing too? You truly have laid down the foundation to build a stronger legacy, to show others how they too can have a voice in this space. You have your nonprofit organization now. You truly have opened up your wings of not only sharing your experience, but also showing others how to thrive through their journeys by being able to pick them up when they can't get to certain places, right? Looking forward to just being that conduit. That's a selfless act you have upon yourself. My
Thank
goodness.
you.
You
Thank
know,
you.
if I had my amazing, what is it? I call it my flower crown. I'll be placing it on your head right now, okay? Because you truly are remarkable. And, currently right now, what were some of the steps that you had to do for yourself, even though the doctors were saying that, it's still there? What were some of the active steps that you had to do in order for you to get on that healthier side? What were some of those active steps that you did? For your exercise, for
You
your
kind of
diet?
like was cutting off, you was cutting off a little bit. But what I think you're asking me is what was some of the steps the positive steps that I took,
Yeah. So what are some of the
positive
active
steps
steps
that I
you
took
did?
to achieve my accomplishment of where I am now through the battle of
Yeah.
cancer? Is that what we talking about? Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Is that what
Yes.
she's saying, Deborah?
Yes, active steps like in your exercise and your diet. What are
Oh,
some of the
okay.
things that you did?
Well, each time, like I said, I was in a different mindset. So in 24, my mindset then was just to shut down. So I wasn't paying attention to what my eating habits were and such like that. In the second battle, I was more or less eating. I had a girlfriend. That was the third battle, but anyway, I was eating vegetables, and I was eating and drinking orange stuff, like anything orange, anything green or whatever, and keeping my body clean. In my third battle, my girlfriend of mine, she found out, we talked about it because I got to tell you a little quick story about my friend Renee. Her name is Valencia, but we call her Renee. She was washing my hair one day, and it was coming out in the sink while was going through treatments, and she started crying. I started laughing. She would laugh, I would cry. She would laugh, I would cry. And it was funny because it was new to her. It was a new experience to her. So she, on the other hand, wound up giving me carrot juice, and I started turning orange because she gave me so much carrot juice. But carrot juice was very helpful. It was something I put in my body that gave me strength through my third battle. I actually, I don't know if you ever heard of this, but it was called God Herbal's Blessing Teas. I used that. Went down way down to Pensacola, Florida, to get that to drink it. I drank that through my third battle. I actually, what else was it? Herbs. I started using herbs and everything to um, eat right, put certain vitamins in my body, plenty. I'm emphasizing the word plenty of water. I had to stay hydrated. She's Deborah laughing, but I'm serious. It kept me hydrated because uh, oh, that's why you feel that.
Yeah.
Okay, it kept me hydrated because I was on the go. I mean, I was doing any and every, like I said, I was against God and I was fighting against him and I was mad because it kept happening. So I was partying. I was I was wilding out, you guys. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was out there. So I had to stay hydrated. Me and my carrots, water and carrot juice through the third battle. And then during the fourth time when it came, it was a young gentleman that I was dealing with at the time, was into all natural herbs.
Mm-hmm.
He had me on a strict regimen, lemon juice, water, and tea. Like I heat it up and drink it as a tea. Left all meat alone. I lost so much weight. I was just, but it killed that can. I believe the herbs that I took in killed the cancer. And forever juice is another juice that I drinking now and drunk during my fourth battle. Not I said fourth battle. That was not a fourth battle. I rebuked that. That was not a fourth battle. I only
Yes,
went through 3 times, not
that's
four. I
right.
don't. I talk about it, but I don't claim it. Okay. So when God told me, "You shall not die, but live to declare the work of the Lord," and once I accepted His call and told Him that I was going to continue to do His will and do His work, I knew when that fourth time came that I'll never see it again. And I'm going to keep claiming I'll never see it again. And yes, somebody may be asking, do you get scared when another 7 come up? Of course. But I know that in that 8th year of dealing with cancer after the 2007 ordeal, God showed me, He showed me you healed. You are healed and you got to put your mindset there that you're there. And so that's what I started to do. So for us eating, like I said, I put a lot of juice and stuff in my body. I did a lot of juicing and a lot of herbs.
Cheryl, just your testimony alone has really, I'm sure it's not only going to be very valuable to those that's listening, but this is going to be something that those will continue on being able to hear because we already know with the statistics when it comes down to breast cancer, especially, where it relates to one in every, and that's one out of every woman, wherever you're in a room, wherever you're in a space, unfortunately, have the ability to have breast cancer. And we know the statistics are very, very, very stronger, even in the African American community. And we know the importance of eating healthy. Like you said, you were rebellious a little bit. And I understand because we all have to go through that rebellious side of us, right? We had to do that. But the grateful part about it, you found God. You found God in your journey. You realized that you needed that. And that's powerful, young lady. And I call you young lady because you are. I mean, am I looking at you and there's no way I can still believe I'm going to have to see your driver's license, okay? Because there's no way that you're 61. And you come in and I just love looking at your face. And even when you sent us the new profile picture, I'm like, oh my goodness. You are just a true blessing. Today, not only is your voice so important for all of the ladies to hear it, I want to make sure we're sharing this program out. Guys, share it out through not only through the Clubhouse, share it through the Instagram as well as through the YouTube, because this is as real as it gets. I could be very honest with you. I've never met a woman that have gone through it 3 times. I've never, ever had that opportunity. And still, you look so young and vibrant. So truly, the water is working. More carrot juice. Give me some more of the orange juices, okay? And I already know the importance of having a clean diet. and sugars. We were talking about how sugars is that number one killer, and we have to really be more cognizant about that. Now, I'm looking at your body, and it looks like you work out over there with Miss Jackie. Do you know Miss Jackie Underwood? I just want to know, because Miss Jackie Underwood have us down on the floor doing crunches, girl, all the time. All right, she make us not only hold on, and she makes sure we stay tight in that area. And she's every bit of, I would say, I'm not going to say age. I always like to let Miss Jackie say her age, but she's every bit right along there with you. But she is fabulous. Every time I look at Miss Jackie, I'm like, you look like you're in your 40s.
Well, I think Miss,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, I apologize. I think Miss Jackie need to get me in some training because I am not fitted. Let my children tell you, Mama, come on now, you got to do better than this. You got to go and start working out. But no, I'm not in the perfect fit, but I'm in a perfect mind fit. Let's put it like that.
And let's
I'm
talk
at
about
peace.
that mind fitness. That's what we're going to call it. Mind fitness. Can someone hashtag mind fitness? The mind fitness is what helps us to get through everything. Mind fitness. So talk about, what did you do to make sure? I know you actually wrote a book. You really took the time to start focusing on self-care and self-love. Even though you had to have that conversation with God again, you really found yourself. So talk about that mind fitness. When did you realize that you had to embrace something different from what you were doing?
Am I going back to or now?
Your mind fitness, your mind fitness.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, it started back in, I want to say 2008, where I had to realize that I needed to change my mind so that my body, my health, and everything can strengthen itself back. Because I went into a depression. I went into a moment of having constant anxiety attacks, and in 2008 is when I had to really focus on, Cheryl, you got to get control of this. You know, the doctor's putting you in all this medication and you walking around like a zombie. What are you doing here? And I started journaling and writing. I was already doing that from 24 on up from the time I started dealing with cancer. But when the anxiety and the depression kicked in, I basically realized then that I didn't like taking medicine anyway. So I had to gradually put my mind into giving myself affirmations that I was going to do this, I was going to do that. So my second book that I wrote was about the journaling, and that's what delivered me from being in that depressed state of mind, because I knew that I had a calling. I knew I had a purpose. I knew what it was that God wanted me to do, but I was just hurt because I felt torn in family situations and into what happened throughout my family and what happened with me with my family, how I didn't connect. And those things became stressful for me to the point where I couldn't bear. So in the process of journaling and writing and so forth, and being releasing myself from the medication and starting using natural stuff to pull my mindset back, it allowed me to soar. It allowed me to move on into a peaceful journey with who I am at that moment, because I needed to help others and I knew what my purpose was. So once I moved into that peaceful zone of understanding that cancer didn't have me, depression ain't gonna keep me, anxiety attacks may come when I become nervous and overworked and overthinking and overstressed, but it will not hold me in bondage. So I had to keep putting myself and telling myself that these things will not happen. So I started writing down different stuff, to putting them up on the mirror in the bathroom where I spent most time at. I started putting little pinpoints up. When I started feeling like I was decreasing in who I was in my peaceful zone, when I felt like my body was not aligned to my mind, I would take a piece of paper, write down what it was that was bothering me. I would fold it up, put it in a jar. If, for example, you, Renee, or you, Deborah, I wanted to tell you something, but I really didn't want to tell you personally, I wrote you a letter and I folded it up and I put it in that jar. And I hid that jar from myself. And in that letter or in that piece of paper, I wrote down what I wanted to accomplish. So that built my person up. Me, when I say person, I mean me, the inside of me, not the outside, not the smile you see, because I hid behind this for so long. So it's like I don't even see the beauty that you see. I go deeper in because I see all the scars that was on the outside that kept me from looking at myself without any clothes on. So those pieces of paper that I kept writing constantly down what I felt and how I felt gave me that energy to release those bondages, those hurts, those depressions, those stress, all that. It gave me that opportunity to release all that. So I hope that was what you were looking for, or
Well, no,
I reached
absolutely.
someone out there. I hope I can reach someone out there
Yes.
about how to move forward, how to stay within themselves, how to self-check yourself, not nobody else, but yourself. Check yourself, meaning even from the physical realm. Physical, do a breast check. Physically go to the doctor and say, hey, doc, I don't feel the same. There's nothing wrong with talking to a therapist. I talked to one. I had to let her know how I felt in order to be peaceful. And matter of fact, it helped me to be able to walk away from situations that I loved so dearly, to where I said, okay, my peace is more important. Instead of staying in the root of that drama,
Mhm.
I had to separate myself so that I could be at peace, so that I can glow inside, not outside, but on the inside. And they say what goes in comes out. So I guess I am glowing.
You are definitely glowing. Guys, put some hashtag for shining. Cheryl is glowing, because you truly are glowing beautiful. Yes, you are. And just hear your testimony, hearing the confidence that now you have, it's really important that other women understand you may have to go through certain things that's unfortunate. However, hold on. Make sure you are maintaining that personal inner strength, that power that we have inside. And that's what you did not allow to seep away. You went back real hard and you went to a deeper dive with yourself. And that's what I'm hearing from you. Your resiliency is truly remarkable. Just the idea of going through this not once, but twice, but three times, but realizing you bounce back. You bounce back bigger, bolder, and stronger, and even more beautiful. I have to add that because you truly are beautiful. And thank you for just
Thank
sharing your
you.
testimony. I know Deborah want to pour into you as well. And then we're going to go ahead onto the clubhouse and we'll open up the mic for them as well. So take it away, Deborah.
Well, first, this was a very, very powerful share. There is so much that you share today that I resonate with, and I don't have your situation. I have other conditions, but there were so many things that you touched on that I was taking notes on. A part of it, that self-image, right? When we're going through these challenges, how do we find that self-esteem? How do we find that self-love, especially when we have these challenges? So first off, I have to commend you. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. Your story was already bringing tears and emotions up for me, just hearing what you had to go through. And my mother being a survivor, I know what she's going through every time she goes for that mammogram, right? And you worry about whether it's going to be coming back. In my case, I did have a reduction. Half of my breasts were removed when I was younger for back and neck issues, but also hopefully decreasing my chance of breast cancer. But when I was listening to your story, it brought up a lot of emotion for me, of that self-image of how do we find beauty when we're going through something that our body is kind of saying something different than what we're feeling. And having children and having relationships all of those elements were coming up because I couldn't imagine how hard it is to find that mindset when you're facing these challenges and repeatedly facing these challenges. Sorry, when you have family, that to me, you're just a hero. I mean, truly and utterly, a hero. For me, I know when I don't have life-threatening conditions, and my children really had issues with my diagnosis. And I can't imagine how you had to go through this with your children so many times. So I just really, from the bottom of my heart, I just, honor you. I'm sorry I didn't mean to bring up emotions there, but
That's okay.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
I was just going to say thank you, Deborah. And believe it or not, the title "Lift the Tail" came for a reason. And my oldest daughter, I always the ages is just like off my mind. I think she's 39 now. She was born in 83. But anyway, she gave me that name, Lift the Tail. And I didn't tell. I didn't tell. I didn't tell. So it's a lot of things that I've done in my life that has separated me from my children, and me not telling them and putting stuff. Oh God, it's let's put it like this. I don't see myself as a hero. I don't see myself as a she hero. I see myself as a voice that's trying to strengthen and uplift individuals. And a mother who had to raise 3 kids on her own, when her husband walked out on her while she was 7 months pregnant, I didn't get into that. It was like I said, the mindset had to be changed, not this outer side. And the heart of me had to find some love somewhere. I couldn't give love because I didn't know how to love. So I say all that to you to say that the caregiving part that you're doing and you did for your mom, and then the situation that you went through it wasn't breast cancer, but actually just to lose a part of you, it took a part of you. So it's a matter of accepting those things that was taken from you. Because me personally, when I saw all the scars on my body, it took from me on the inside, but on the outside, it didn't show that it was out. So I walked around hiding it to my children just to be strong enough to get them through, because my only mindset then was, let me see my children graduate. Let me be here, God, to get them through. Man, my children are off the rock, and I'm proud of each and every one of them. When I say off the rock, they at the mountain, and they still climbing up to go up a higher mountain because they are so at their point in life. And whether they say, Mama, you helped me achieve this, I want them to know that I know I did. And that's because I wanted the best for them. And I got on those knees and I prayed. And I prayed secretly and privately. And I may not let them know how much I love them, but today, openly on this mic that I'm speaking out on, Daisha, Yarel, Share, I love you. I love you to the core of my heart. I am so proud of you. And I'm sorry I wasn't there for you. But hey, I had other things going on inside of my mind at the time. But no, this heart is always and will always be there for you. So therefore, as a caregiver, they may not tell you what they're feeling because it's so hard to get out what they're going through. But girl,
I love it.
What a blessing.
Yes.
What a blessing to be able to be free. You got me crying, girl.
that wasn't the intent.
Tears, good happy tears.
What a blessing.
But
What
I
a
do
blessing
have
to be
to
a
say, I
blessing.
love how you found that self-love, because it's taken me, and I've talked with Renee about
I
this.
just had to pray. I just had to pray and ask God to clean me. I just asked God to clean me. That's all it was. I had to pray. I had to ask God to cleanse me, and I had to go talk to somebody. I had to talk to somebody. And I still to this day,
yes.
I have some strong sisters that backs my shoulder.
Absolutely.
And they're older than me,
Mhm.
Shout out to Gwen. Shout out to Yvonne. Shout out to Debbie. You know, those women keep me in check.
I love it.
Keep
I
me in
love
check
it.
24/7.
And now
So
you
that's
have
how I'm
now your
finding myself.
GW3 sisters also. Now you have your GW3 sisters that's going to make sure we keep you in check. Everybody go ahead on and say GW3. Woo! GW3. GW3. That's right. Give me smiles. Oh my goodness. Yes, yes, yes. You know, God is so good. Look at what's happening right now. He's bringing this into a full 360. And not only is this an opportunity for us to find ways to connect with those who are going through this, who's going through different types of anxiousness, anxiety, as well as stress and depression. Guys, you do not have to do this alone. Please DM one of us. Make sure you can DM the Global Women Wealth Warriors. We have the best, and I say it just like that, the best warriors of light that can help you, that can get you through. So therefore your voice can be heard, but most importantly, guys, so therefore we can elevate you and keep that crown up high where it belongs. So we're going to go into the clubhouse right now, Cheryl. I know we got maybe one or two comments that would love to pour into you. Please, if those are, I know for sure we got some flashing mics. Let's go right ahead. Who would like to be the first person to pour into our very own Cheryl L. Brown? Please take it away.
Hello, everyone. This is Tanya. Thank you so much, Queen Renee, for creating such an amazing and empowering room. Cheryl, I mean, hats off to you. You're such an incredible mom, and your story is so amazing. You know, you showed that resiliency. You, through your trials of, experiencing breast cancer, you just made it so transparent to others, and being that phenomenal single parent and going through this process. Hats off to you, Cheryl. I'm Tanya, and I'm complete.
Absolutely. One of our dentist
Thank you.
hygienists right there over in the DMV area, Miss Tanya. Thank you so very much, Tanya, for pouring into Miss Cheryl L. Brown. Who else would like to pour in? Please take it away. Say your name and go ahead on.
Hi, Cheryl. This is B. Oh, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to say, you know what? We're going to need receipts. We're going to need a birth certificate because something is not adding up.
I'm telling you, Miss V. Oh my goodness, right? That's Miss VB over there on the West Coast. Thank you, Miss VB. I heard another voice. Please point to the conversation.
That's Maria. How are you?
Hi.
Talk about divine timing. Talk about divine timing. Cheryl, I appreciate you. I appreciate your story. You're an inspiration. I am truly grateful for your resolve, your determination to just to succeed, to achieve that goal of getting healthy, not only in body but mind and spirit. I am getting teary-eyed. I want to thank you so much for your words. You were talking to me today. I was listening with ears wide open and heart wide open, and I just want to thank you with all my heart. Blessings.
Absolutely. That's Maria over there in New York City. You know, guys, we just don't know what each person's journey is. We don't know each person's story. And, sometimes where we are in life, we just have to appreciate being in the moment. Being in the moment. And, Cheryl, your story, I mean, you brought tears to everybody's eyes today because you just kept pushing forward. And I know it wasn't easy. I know it wasn't easy. And I always pull up my shoes. If only these shoes can talk, But we are grateful that you shared with not only with your heart, sincerity, your courageousness, but you keep on pressing forward. And you are, my friend, you're definitely going to be one of our amazing survivors for this entire month of October. That not only are we going to honor you, we're going to celebrate you, we're going to also honor your nonprofit organization as well. Guys, let's give it up for Miss Cheryl L. Brown.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely,
Thank you.
absolutely. You're so welcome. I know, guys, I think we probably have time for one more share in the clubhouse. Please go ahead on and say your name and go right into the in your share.
Hey, this is Malika Starr. I would like for Belinda Sally, she's right next to me down at the bottom, to share her story of courage. We are childhood friends, and she got a diagnosis last year of breast cancer, and she's still going through the process, but I love her courage, and I'm going to let her tell her story. So is it with your permission, can I please introduce my friend Belinda Sally to the Global Women Wealth Warrior Tribe and hear her testimony and share some love her way? I yield the mic.
Okay, take it away. Is she up on the stage, Malika?
Yes, she's right next to me. Belinda, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. And thank you for giving me this opportunity to
Speak a little
share
louder,
my
Belinda.
testimony.
It's hard to hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear it now, Renee?
Well,
Can you hear me now?
can you hear
We
Cheryl?
can hear you. I can hear you.
Yeah, it's just a little bit. Cheryl, it's kind of hard for Cheryl to hear you, but yes, I can hear you. Take it away.
Okay, I just wanted to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to tell my testimony. As Malika said, we are childhood friends. I was diagnosed with invasive ductal carcinoma 2 years ago, and I found my own lump. I was doing my yearly mammograms and never had a problem. This particular time that I felt the lump and I went and had my mammogram, they continued to state that everything was fine. So I requested to see the doctor and asked for additional testing. Well, come to find out, I had breast cancer, and as a matter of fact, I was at stage 2. However, by the time they did their own testing, I was diagnosed with stage 3. The mass had spread very rapidly, so I went right into surgery, and instead of being able to have a lumpectomy, I had a mastectomy. And once I was given the information that I had breast cancer, I cried and I cried. I have 2 young daughters. One is 17 and the other one will be 21 at the end of this month. My prayer to God was that I wouldn't be depressed, stressed, angry, or just wanted to give up in life. I wanted him to guide me and be with me through my journey. After I cried for 2 days, I said, no more pity parties, no more of that. I'm going to hold on to my faith. And I tell you, 2 nights after that, I woke up every day for a week at 3 o'clock in the morning. And at one time, I thought that someone was breaking in my house. To make a long story short, the next morning, I opened up my laptop and it said testimony. I said, God, this is what you're trying to tell me, that I need to tell my story. I made it up in my mind from that point on that every single chance I got, I was going to tell my testimony of what I was going through, and I was going to journal the good, the bad, and the ugly. And instead of going through withdrawal or anything like that, I continued to work. I continued to be a voice for the voiceless. And I made it a mission to start, as I was journaling, to entertain questions because, as you know, years ago, people didn't talk about breast cancer. All you knew was that grandma was sick, auntie was sick, but they never talked about it. You never knew what the BRCA gene was. Nobody ever told you about your family history. And I wanted to change that narrative. I said I was determined to keep pushing, to tell my story, to make sure I advocated for myself, to advocate for other people. And I started a brand. It's called Be Courageous, God Says So. During this journey, I've designed 2 sneakers. One was actually featured on Vanity Fair. And I go around every month as I went to 16 rounds of chemo, 30 days of radiation. I'm actually about to have my 4th surgery on Tuesday, the 11th. And I just was determined not to give up. I wrote a co-authored book called Girl, Don't Count Yourself Out. You are resilient.
Oh no.
Hold on. Okay, continue. I just put it on. Thank you, Belinda. Go on, Belinda. We lost you for a second.
Last thing that I wanted to say is I created a magazine under the Black Family Magazine that will be out on October the 15th. And from cover to cover, I interviewed several women that were going through breast cancer and allowed them to tell their testimony. And I just want to make sure that people understand that this is something that we live with. People, wear the pink shirts and they honoring this person and that person, but just be mindful that this is a disease that we live with 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, and that we have to make sure that we're supporting one another and that we're there when they need it. And I'm always a resource, always available to talk, and I'm here for my next pink sister. Thank you again for this opportunity.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you. That's a powerful what you're doing for the community. Great. And we need to connect. Please do.
Absolutely.
And please, y'all follow her on Instagram and Facebook. And when the magazine drops, let's go out and get it. And she has these pink bonnets. I love a good silk bonnet, but she has these pink bonnets with that's our hope, faith, and love on them. And we don't understand. There's so many people. These therapies and everything. Insurance. Belinda's fortunate that she has a good job, But we got to be mindful that there's extra, that out-of-pocket expenses that come through. Not just Belinda, but any of the ladies that are going through right now. Let's keep an open heart too, and for those that can, keep an open purse so that we can support their business in their efforts to raise extra funds for hospital stays and for when you're at the hospital, you may not want to eat all the food, or your guests may not want to eat all the food that's in the cafeteria, or that all that stuff costs. Transportation to and through these because you can't always drive yourself. Belinda can't drive herself to surgery. And so as we go to support everyone that has, but not just Belinda, but anybody that shows up in this space that has the breast cancer, I think that's why Renee created this space this month to acknowledge, support, and celebrate. And so let's be mindful that those that are going through are really also, even in their courageous stories, are going through too financially. Cancer hits the pocket really hard.
Absolutely.
And so I just want to be mindful of that.
Yes.
I have a pink bonnet.
Yes. Let's do this. Yeah, what we're going to do, we want to make sure we continue on the conversation. Right now, we're still live on YouTube. We're still live right there on Facebook. And we've been hearing so many great testimonials that's right there in the clubhouse. So what we want to do, not only we're going to close out with Miss Cheryl Brown. Someone has a hot mic, so hold on. Okay. Thank you, guys. Not only is it important for us to close out this segment with the fabulous Miss Cheryl L. Brown, but we also want to make sure that everyone knows how to get in contact with us. We want to continue on this cheer. We want to continue on this champion for breast cancer, because we want to make sure we understand we're wearing pink for a cause. We're bringing more awareness, because we already know 1 out of 1 in 8 women, even in this room today that we have right now, will unfortunately be tested for breast cancer. So it's our duty to not only pay more homage to the prevention, but make sure that we're taking the caution, so therefore we can help to prevent this happening to someone else. And not only is it important for us to build the awareness, but also share the information. Make sure you get in contact with the ladies that's right there in the clubhouse, as well as our very own Miss Cheryl L. Brown. Miss Cheryl L. Brown, please communicate with everyone how they can get in contact with you before we wrap up this segment for this week, Thriving for Thursday.
Okay. First, I want to speak to you, Deborah. I was sitting here while the young lady was speaking, and it came to me, the question that you asked me about self-image. I was telling you to write a letter to yourself, what you expect or what you see self-image as. Then also define what you see self-image as, and then put it away. And then start watching yourself in the mirror or whatever it is that's keeping you feeling as though you don't have that self-image, because it's there. You just got to bring it in outward. It's in there, so it's got to come outward. The Holy Spirit just gave me that. And to Belinda, I want you to continue doing what you're doing, because what you're doing is awesome. You gave so much information out there just by that little short tidbit. And I want you to understand one thing is that I know that you're still in the fight. I call you my can survivor, because you are basically walking in it right now and taking care of that situation and not giving up. So continue to pull that strength from above and pull it and pull it and pull it and keep pulling until you can expand even further, because I see a wide range of things that God is about to do with you. But to reach me, you can reach me at info@livetotell.org by email. That's LIVED LIVED, the number 2, TELL.org. Website, livetotell.org. You can reach by the website, or you can call us at 770-484-8811.
Thank you so very much. And Deborah, how can people get in contact with you? Please share.
I can be reached at Victorious, VICKTORIOUS.org, and also on Instagram, Clubhouse, Twitter, all of those. I'm at Forward Rolling.
Absolutely.
And I really want to just really thank you, Cheryl and Belinda, for sharing these really important stories. And I know we all have a different journey in life, but there's so many parallels and synchronicities and things that you have gone through and Belinda has gone through that we can learn from and adapt. And I just really want to thank you for being so honest and so vulnerable and so authentic with us. It's very beautiful, and I really do appreciate it. And you can see in the chat, a lot of other people appreciated it as well.
Thank you. Just about being transparent and about being real and true to what you're feeling and what you're going through and been through.
Absolutely. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity, because when we raise our voices together, we help spread the word about the importance of breast cancer. Not only just the importance of breast cancer, but the screenings, the activities. What are we eating? Making sure we stay in a space that we can be encourageable, because we just don't know what the next person may be going through. So today, don't let this be the only day that we focus on this breast cancer awareness. This is going to be for the rest of our lives. We're going to wear pink for the month of October, because we are very passionate and making all the steps to show how much we truly care for those who are thrivers, survivors, and those who may not even know that they too probably have to embrace this journey in their lives. But we're going to elevate those names, 31 names for the month of October. That's right. The Global Women Wealth Warriors is very honored to do that. We kicked off in the DMV. We're headed to New York City. Then after that, we'll be headed to London. And from London, we're going to Chicago and Atlanta. That's how intentional we are. And we want you to know just how important you mean to us. So again, we're raising up our pink ribbons, our pink scarves, our pink dresses, our pink shoes. We're kicking those shoes off for breast cancer awareness. I want you to make sure you join us right back into the clubhouse, because we're going to continue on with this conversation. We'd like to say thank you, Cheryl L. Brown, for being our special guest for the Lunch and Soar for this special edition of how we are celebrating those with breast cancer. Guys, make sure you are so welcome. Make sure you follow up with the ladies, because truly they are remarkable and special. And this is what this world needs, new game changers. And these ladies are truly them. So guys, join us in the clubhouse. And remember what we always say, make sure you hold your head up, those shoulders back, go and blaze the universe, because the world needs another game changer. And that game changer is truly you, especially because we're celebrating breast cancer. I'm Renee Noor. It's been a pleasure being here with you guys today. We'll see you guys right there in the clubhouse. Until then, bye for now. Bye for now. Yes, you guys look so beautiful. Thank you so very much.